some of the wonderful Dragon Ball Hero stuff that has come out recently.
Legit wonderful.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Don't enjoy yourself. You're only allowing these people to just make more of this with this secret Saiyan who's stronger than freaking SS Blue Vegito. Cool. And he's just in the shadows and never mentioned and in his secret prison.
Cool.
This is what we're getting.
But people recognize it's a fun joke fluff. Who gives a shit? As opposed to, here's Jiren, the greatest villain I've ever seen.
But he is, though.
Cool. Yep. Get in there.
That sounds like a very similar to reaction that you just had about Dragon Ball Heroes, though, so I'm confused.
No. I was talking, DA showed me another Heroes thing, and I'm just like, cool. No. Super is trash.
There's the tenors of BG's cools that you have to like really listen for the subtlety. Cool is like, yeah, he's okay with it. Cool is he's pissed off at it.
Be in there. Trunks and Vegeta's fuse. Cool. Get in there.
Jiren?
Yep.
No. Anything Jiren is like, nah. My girl Belle took me straight to the top.
Why am I not surprised, Belle?
They weren't ready for it.
You almost lost to a Ganon.
You don't. That's the story of my life.
You're almost losing to a Ganon?
Almost losing the Ganon. Because no matter who you are, you're always one hit away from almost losing to a Ganon. It's not fair.
Is Ganon really?
I'm just imagining like just milestone moments of your life, like graduating high school. You almost failed. It's just your teacher stamping an F on your paper. Doria!
Going to your job interview for your current job, and he's just waiting there behind the door, charging the kick, just waiting.
All right, let me open this door to the workshop. No! Pokemon had another little trailer thing. Showed off some new Dynamax forms, which are like the giant forms. Charizard looks fucking
so dumb.
I'm so
I
tired
hate
of
all
Pokemon.
of it. How y'all hitting 1,000 with all the humans and the Pokemon are just stinking up the joint. That coffin looks so dumb.
I like Dynamax Charizard. He looks pretty fucking
They
sexy.
keep willing out Charizard.
And I'm okay with that.
Yes.
I'm sick of it. Blastoise and Venusaur gets no kind of love. Char is always Charizard, and I'm sick of it.
It's because Charizard, man.
Yeah. Charizard the best.
He's not the best.
He is the best.
Charizard the best.
He's not.
But
He is.
So they showed off a bunch of different Dynamax forms, and they have ones for the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And I just love the fact that Let's Go Pikachu's Dynamax form is just original fat Pikachu.
Seriously,
It is
it's
all
amazing.
it is.
Can we talk
It
about
is-
Meowths, though?
I hate it. It looks so stupid.
Long cat.
I hate it.
Very long cat.
Yeah.
Like, Pikachu's like, oh, okay, that's a cute callback. Meowth. Wait, guys, what the fuck?
That's the, that was the drugs finally kicking in. Like, they had some good designs, and then, like, at the peak of the creative portion of their high, they made Sirfetch'd, who's amazing. And then then they lost the buzz, and Dynamax Meowth came out of it. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle.
Oh, did you see
The accent is the thing.
Uh-huh.
see the Reddit stuff?
No.
Wait, what?
The Reddit stuff surrounding Doolittle. There was a dude that was working on a production company, and he just started releasing information. So the director was a piece of that clearly was out of his league and did not know what he was doing and
great.
micromanaging everything. So they would be shooting for the day, and the people would go, "So where are the animals going to be placed? Because we need to know where Downey's going to be standing, so we can place the animals there in post." And he goes, we'll figure it out. Let's get this shot of shooting." And there's like 5 stories of that.
Interesting.
We'll feel it out. Great.
The dude ended it with, I don't know who the production company is that they brought in, but if they can make it even watchable, they all deserve a raise. So he's thinking this is gonna be a dumpster fire.
Interesting.
I'd believe it, which would be very sad for Downey. I feel like he'd just kind of be annoyed.
Who cares? He doesn't care.
He doesn't.
need it.
He's
This
made
dude
his
is
money.
doing. This is a passion project out there.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever, freaking dog movies, polar bear, let's rock it.
Yeah,
He don't need this.
He's set for life.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's 100% done.
If they just go, this guy's eating 5 devil fruits, nobody wants to see that. Because it's such a
you
drop
say
from
that.
the Oda quality.
You say that.
You say that, BJ. We got Jinbei fans out there.
You have
Pumping
Jinbei
they fist.
stands out there. People who stand
Everybody
Jinbei.
wants to see SS5 Goku.
Everybody's waiting for that next one.
I think people just want Super Saiyan 4 back.
No, definitely. It's the best form. It's the best form.
It's the best form.
I just
But
on that
Go
note,
ahead.
you guys just put out the first episode of A New Revisited.
Oh, it was so fun. It
Was it,
wasn't
DA?
fun at all.
Was it?
I got so angry, and I'm like, I hate feeling this way. Then I just got drained of energy. I'm like, well, at least I know that I'm not a murderer or anything. So it's like, all right, take me in, officer. I did it. 'Cause I just-
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 186.
We're here. Hello.
Yes, all of us.
From the get-go.
It's
I
been
think.
a little bit.
I haven't heard DA talk yet.
No, I've been here. I'm here.
Okay. He's
Okay.
there. Cool. We're all here. Huh? What's up?
Yeah.
Get in
How
there.
normal, like, actual productions, everyone is, like, on set and knows everybody thing. People just kind of sign into the call and we're like, all right, let's go.
We're here. We can do this.
Yes. So this is like the most normal-ish couple of weeks that we've had, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I mean,
Yeah, okay.
that's a stretch, Mike. You're getting hopeful
Heavy
and
stretch on ish. Maybe just for me then.
the fucking bubonic plague is back in the States. Like, the fuck you mean normal?
And they're trying to open up all schools.
Yeah, like this ain't normal. People are getting
Like it
sentenced
ain't
to death.
nothing. There was a chart that was just like, around here is where they said, let's close all the schools down.
Yeah.
And then it goes like quintuple. And it's like, this is where they're saying, let's reopen this bit.
Like, what math retention? It's like,
Dude,
Yeah.
it's Trump has now bypassed that the fucking coronavirus numbers are no longer being reported to the CDC, but directly to the White House. So you'll never see corona numbers again. That's not
Yeah,
going to
no.
be
Oh, no.
made public.
You're going to see them, but they're going to be heavily curated. It's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be like, it's either going to be, oh, they're not as high
Mhm.
or they're going down.
Yeah.
And then everybody's just going to be like, clap for the president. He's fixing it. While Muv's just dying in the streets.
Mhm.
We already died in the streets. Ain't nothing changed yet. This all still happens.
So
and
how
continue
many
to happen.
people do you guys know? So this
That has
is
it?
One,
This is
two,
our
three,
not that has
four.
it. And so this is your daily reminder that wear a mask and Black Lives Matter, or bi-weekly, daily.
Daily
we would
reminder,
be
Mike,
dead
yes.
if we did this daily. We could not sustain this daily. How many people do you know that will be like, oh, wearing masks is the government's just trying to control you,
The
man?
entire
dude.
town I live in.
I know so many people, and it's mostly a bunch of young black women. Just
All old white
dummies,
folks.
just thinking they know better than everybody.
It's the entire old white folk community I live in.
Yeah,
Like there was a post going around on Facebook where it was like I went to go to get tested for corona, but they took so long that I left, and then they came back and told me that my test was positive. How's my test positive if I never took a test? And someone's like, "Yeah, I've seen a bunch of this going around. Like this is what we should be paying attention to." And it's like, you can't be this stupid. You can't be this gullible. And this was the same. This person was one of the same ones talking about the 5G causing it and all this extra. How about it's just a virus and there's no nefarious government plot to? Oh my God, these people are just
'Cause, like,
dumb.
to me, I see these these people pop in my Facebook all the time, either friend of a friend or just people that I'm directly friends with. Some of like hometown, like people that I went to high school with that just friended me, and I was like, okay, I don't unfriend people, so and this leads to me seeing just crap all over my Facebook. But like there's something that I saw on Facebook today that I reposted, and to me, like, this is just tip of the iceberg shit. Where it says people have whole conspiracy theories about masks and how the government is using a surgical mask to control us. I can't deal with y'all. They literally assigned each of us our own number. They make you pay taxes, register your property and your address. They know everything about you, and you think they are controlling you by telling you literally not to spit on one another? What is wrong with y'all? And like, not if you really don't want people, governments, whatever, tracking you, delete all your social media, delete your entire online presence, crack your phone in half, and go into the fucking woods. That's literally the only way you're not going to get tracked.
Yeah, essentially.
Like, yeah, privacy and what have you, that is a big issue. But I have, like, literally any device that you have, like, especially like Alexa, like, like smart device stuff where you can give commands.
Siri.
They are listening. There's a point where I was just hanging out with my roommate. We were just like having conversation. I think I had just like hung some stuff up in my house, and he's just like, so when you ordering your like 100 displays, which Displate is a metal poster company. They basically take art prints and put them on sheets of metal that you can hang up. Cool stuff. Yeah. I do want a bunch. But it was just like, I'm like, this is going to be later. I need to pay off some furniture that I bought. The next day, I had not gotten an ad for displays on my Facebook in months. Saw 3. I'm like, those motherfuckers are listening all the time.
I bought a fucking car AC compressor for an engine part. And now I'm getting targeted Amazon ads on Facebook for them. I didn't buy them on Amazon. I didn't even look them up online. I went to a car parts website. And now I'm getting targeted ads on Facebook through Amazon.
Yep. Pinged your GPS.
Yep.
So, like, I've gotten to the point where I've accepted that, like, just by having some of these devices, like, shit's already been done.
Yeah, it's a Rizzy rap. Just give it up. You're done. If you live in the States, everything you say is recorded somewhere.
If you live in a first world country, let's be real here. But yeah, the school stuff is awful, utterly atrocious. Like the fact that school board officials and what have you, and school like higher up execs are meeting on Zoom because it's not fucking safe to meet to talk about putting hundreds of thousands of students into a petri dish of schools.
Mm-hmm.
That's utterly asinine.
And teachers
Makes
were
sense
like,
to me.
how do you expect us to social distance with this? And there's just no answer.
Yeah.
None. They're just like, well, you got to get the kids back in school because you're glorified babysitters.
And some states, Texas, the one that I just saw that was like super bad, if you fail to basically report to your job for, a air quotes legitimate reason, or not for a legitimate reason, and coronavirus is not going to be a legitimate reason, you not only lose your job, you lose all of your retirement that you gained as being a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, they literally can't. Like,
Yeah, they're forcing them.
teachers in Texas are writing wills right now.
They're doing that because there was a massive threat for a strike, a massive teachers union strike. And they did that to make it so if they did strike and didn't show up, they'd lose everything. They have no protection. They did that to stop a strike.
Well, I mean, I think that's in Texas. There really aren't any unions in general. I think that's just a general thing of Texas.
There's always teachers unions. It's just a matter of not everyone's a part of it. But that's the thing, is that the threat of that is enough.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to say like I hope this gets worse, but I hope people get their heads out of their asses. This is not going to happen. But
you got to vote. Unfortunately, people who are in power are the ones who don't care about human life.
Correct.
Never have.
They've already taken the toothpaste out the bottle. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna put it back in. You can't just go, okay, we're closing back up and think people are gonna accept it. They're going to riot and they're gonna get mad that they can't go to a bar and order a mojito.
Yep.
These people are insane out here.
Did you guys hear? Speaking of insanity, I think this is maybe the last thing we can move on to just some other random nonsense. But in Alabama.
Oh, here we go, Bama.
Have you guys heard of the COVID parties?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What's up?
Only in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I figure it's. I've said this before. I think it's because they want some type of herd immunity.
But it doesn't
it's just work. It doesn't work because you can catch it again. So it just makes no sense.
That sounds way smarter than what I heard.
Oh, that it was a bunch of people that just like, hey, let's see if we can defeat this thing and not.
No.
Let's see who can get it and who can't.
I was gonna say it's worse than that because basically these parties were like, oh, this is a hoax. They had parties and had people there that had tested positive for corona, and basically they had a pot, and whoever got sick first won the pot of money. And there was someone, at least I read an article, that in Alabama that was at one of these COVID parties that got COVID and died. And the literal
last dude that said, I think I made a mistake.
Yes. Like, I think I made a mistake. I thought it was a hoax. Were his last words. Just.
This is a joke until it's not.
Yeah.
That's just like when there were those people at the Trump rally and some dude was in the audience. Like, I've personally seen people get affected by this, get sick. I have a friend whose son is just like, he can barely breathe. He's got all these medical bills and everything else. But at the same time, is it real? Like, I don't.
And I've seen some I've seen some people that I'm friends with on Facebook, like, they've posted now some articles as far as like masks don't help or whatever. They do have some sourcing, I will say, some of these articles, but they're from independent organizations that they're not big, so I have no idea who they are. So like, okay, there is some research and stuff out there, but and for me, I'm a type of person where it's like, hey, it is proven masks just don't do anything, and I'll be like, okay, I won't wear a mask anymore. But as it stands, right now, the big players in health are saying masks help.
It's just like Joe Rogan is not a believer of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he doesn't believe in wearing a mask or whatever. And Bill Burr was like, look, I'm not gonna sit here with my non-medical degree trying to explain to you who also does not have a medical degree of why you shouldn't wear a mask.
Yep.
And just that one of the things, just like, yes, you are not a medical doctor, so shut the up.
Just do it.
Just do it.
What is being detracted by you doing it? It's a little inconvenient, but my goodness.
Now I can understand people that can suffer from collapsed lung from jogging. It can be a little hard for them to breathe. I understand.
If you have a medical condition.
Okay.
Yes, I understand the problems of it.
But the people that are just like me,
My freedom.
that's what it comes down to. It's like, okay, come on now.
Just put it on.
Just don't leave the house. Because honestly,
that's the thing. They want to leave the house and bandy about, but still don't want to wear the mask just because they don't want to be told what to do. They're a bunch of they're a bunch of 40-year-old, 11-year-old. Like, you just can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do this. Don't hop up on that swing set. No, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm. The toddler who, like, knows what no means, and then you say, no, don't do that, and they just turn and look at you and smile and keep doing the thing that you told them not to do.
Yep.
And then scream when you stop them from doing the thing.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
That is my youngest niece right now.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So, going into just random bits of news, and then there's just a couple of things that like I want to talk about that I feel like we could talk about for a while. So random nerd news.
Before you do that, did you ever answer DA's text?
DA, I don't think DA sent the text.
Oh, you
I kind of did, but I kind of did.
You big dummy. Never mind. Oh, I don't care. Do you know who the bad guy in Persona 4 is?
Persona 4? No.
Okay. That's all.
Because there was
There's not even a point of telling him because he might look back on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, since we're talking about this right now, I wanted to talk about this Persona 5 Revisited you guys are watching.
Is there a problem? Do you have any comments or
I
criticism?
would love to be. This is like there's a reason why this is the first Revisited that I'm commenting on in the videos. I would so love to be like during these recordings like the late night host, like lounge player that basically like you guys turn and talk to every like hour and a half for a moment. I play a fancy jazz line and then you guys just keep going. Cause boy, I'm just watching this and being just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Dude, it's so draining. It is literally like pouring out a cup of water. Our energy just drains and it's just nothing.
It's not
left.
even like pouring out a cup of water. It's like getting a bowl of cereal, but there's a hole in the bowl. So you're eating it, but the milk is just slowly. And you're just like, this is so
I
good.
don't have a whole lot of left. I had 2 spoons. And then you look down at your lap and it's just wet and go, oh man, it's ruined.
Everything is ruined. My pants are ruined. The cereal's ruined. Can't drink the milk. Everything's ruined.
And this man had the fucking gall to put Futaba Sakura amongst the other plebeian non-character, like actual party characters.
Dude.
Just going like, you know all this nerd stuff. Why are you trying to learn about you stupid pieces?
You are, oh my, I'm getting mad all over again. It's amazing, this dude. If he was just like, if he came out like, I just made this video to make people just mad, I didn't mean any of this.
If
Here,
it was
I
some type
mailed
of-
myself this letter, and I'm gonna open it up. You see, it's addressed one day before I publish this video. I'm like, you got me, dude.
It's some type of
Why
social-
could I think that somebody can have this bad of an opinion this constantly?
It's some type of social study where it's just like, I want to see how irate the internet zeitgeist gets
Yes.
off of something like this that is somewhat competent, but in large part is just so incompetent. It's gotta be a goof. Like there's a YouTuber, quote unquote, that I follow. He's really a comedian called Brent Torhan or something, and he does satire of like a Trumper. So he's just like, I want to go to Vegas and all this stuff, and it's just all this fake. I linked DA one of them. Yeah, it's just all this fake, and it's clearly fake, but it's not clearly fake because people are still falling for it because he's so stupid that it's just believable enough. But he'll throw in these little things like, who are these people to tell me that the color of their skin has hurt them for generations and blah, blah, blah. And it's just these little tidbits of just like, you should understand that it's satire if you listen just closely
what was
enough.
that Aunt Jemima one?
That Aunt Jemima one was so good. He was just like, he said, I want to take away something, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or something like that, where it's just like, I'm a fat white guy, so you're infringing on me and I'm hurt, so I want this taken away. And it's just dumb enough to believable, but also not. And the only thing he retweets is when people point out how stupid he is and that they believe it, where it's just like, look at this idiot, so he'll retweet them and everybody will just be like, dude, you don't even get it. And if this guy Cvent came out like that, I would just applaud the shot of him. You got me, fam. But he is not. He is this dumb.
He's so straight-faced about it. And I trolled through his comment looking like, is he saying anything? He says almost nothing defending himself in the comment when people are just blowing up on him. He's saying, and I'm like, you just dropped this deuce and just walked away
in the middle of the floor.
You ain't trying to clean it. You ain't trying to put it under a rug. You ain't trying to blame it on the dog. Nothing.
It's like that Flavor Flav chick that's on the stairs is just like, whoa, who did this? Who could it have been? And everybody knows it's you, and it's just like, what ifs.
It's so shockingly bad.
Yeah, he wants everything and nothing at the same time.
And everything and nothing. He wants, hey, why isn't it like this? When it's like this, well, it could have been. Dude, what do you want?
The episode that just came out, was that the one that we went on that 5-minute tirade at the end?
No, that's coming out in the very next one, I believe.
Yeah, because that one we were just like, this video is terrible. I'm so drained. He's making point after point of just horrible points. We just go for 5 minutes of just how bad the video is.
And I even apologize. I know we're just repeating ourselves, but this is so bad. The revisited itself is good, but his video is so bad, and we're halfway through it.
And that's another thing that we were talking about near the end. We were like, we're not having fun. We're not doing the jokes that we normally do. We're just angrily shouting at this dude. And that's what makes it so draining. There's no roller coaster, up, down. It's just all down. It's really bad.
But
funny enough, though, I feel like this video, I have gotten more pings on the Gmail for our YouTube of new subscriber.
Mother was the blow up. New subscribers, new in comments. Mm-hmm. Every video, dude. I published the last video at 12 at night.
It was midnight. It was midnight.
Yes. And before I even went to sleep, which was an hour later, it was already at 142 views. I'm like, where y'all coming from?
And this is the thing where it's like, we're not doing this for likes or views or anything. It's nice, but this was always just this is fun for us. Yes, but it's nice to get a little bit of appreciation.
It's funny because we were getting all these nice comments and agreeing with us. and then somebody had commented on one of the Hunter x Hunter videos, and then it was like, what the is going? Oh yeah, that's where we come from. That's what we are.
We still back there in the mud. We get all this nice stuff and just like politely disagreeing and just all this stuff. But then here comes this freaking troglodyte that just go, oh, Hunter, Hunter, you guys don't understand things. Fate. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah. We gotta go back there soon.
Yeah, we're going right back, dude. This Persona Revisited is gonna get finished this month, but it's probably gonna be about 11 parts, and then we just gotta go right back to something else.
So
Jesus.
I had a thought.
Mhm.
So, and this is more towards DA. I don't know if BG, like, you might not have nothing to talk about with this. So I was just like, I don't know. I was in a just weird thought thing of just, how like over time, things that we liked, we may not necessarily like anymore. Like you guys with Dragon Ball, where it's like you liked it as you're younger, and then as you grew older, your opinions changed. And I'm like, so what's like some stuff that we really hated a while ago, and I wonder if that opinion is still true. And the first thing that came to my mind was DA and Clanad.
That would be interesting. That's kind of so DA and I have a series called Check It Out, which is basically I'll recommend something, he'll recommend something, and we have to watch it and just discuss it. So the first episode was Flame of Recca and Hajime no Ippo. The second episode was Kill la Kill and Higurashi. And the current episode is ReZero and Haikyuu. And it's very much like that. So I can see us doing something like that. DA with Clanad. What is something I really hated? I'm gonna have to think about that. That's an interesting concept.
Because like I'm sure there's probably stuff out there where it's like Clanad, the greatest romance anime of all time, videos that you could find easily.
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh, definitely. Clanad is beloved.
Dude, this ReZero is gonna open up doors for us, and I can't wait.
Bruh, I hate this series. I was zooming through it. I was like, DA might be wrong. This might be something fun. We're just like, so hey DA, I love this series because I was loving it. And then that turn happened so quick.
So in our check it outs, we do like right after we finish the episode, we go, what do you recommend? And we tell each other what we recommend. And then we stop recording, start the recording, go, okay, here are our initial thoughts about the series before we read it. And then we read it and again, go back to it. I told BG, there is a literal coin flip where it goes from good to one of the worst things ever. There is literal.
What is that point for you?
When he yells at old girl on episode 13, where he's like, you owe me. You don't know all the stuff that I did for you.
Yep, that's 100% it.
And he turned to me and goes, I don't think I can finish this series. And he goes, and I went, what happened? He goes, and he told me about it. I'm like, dude, that is the literal turn.
Dude, before that episode happened, I was flowing through those episodes like water. And I was doing like 8 a night, like easy. I haven't watched the episode in 2 days. I told DA, if I didn't want us to record this thing on a Sunday, this would have been an episode a day at best. That's how much I turned on this series with one episode.
It is the hardest cliff drop I've ever. There is nothing else that compares to that singular moment that makes things go from, yo, this is good to great to passable to this is awful. And I don't want any more of this.
I have never seen a drop this hard.
There's never been a drop this hard. I contest anybody to tell me a drop that hard.
No, you're not. I'm not even going to argue with you. It was that episode that killed my excitement for finishing it. Like, I obviously had no problem watching it week to week still, but I had each week in between episodes to kind of just like de-stress and decompress and go back to it. But I remember after finishing that episode, I was kind of flabbergasted, to put it lightly. I was just like,
because worst part is it just comes out of nowhere.
Exactly. Then, there's no like build up to that point.
Oh, he just can't talk about this so much.
Yeah, I understand. I understand because we got to save it for the episode.
Yeah.
But this is what I'll say. It's not only that it happens so quickly, it's that there's a chance for this is where I was still at. There's a chance he redeems himself where he's just like, wow, I was being a super shitty person. But then the knight comes up to him and he's just like, hey, just talk things out. It's just like, no, mind your own business. Get the out of here, you. And it's just like, no, oh, he's just a terrible person now. And this is just going to be the series.
And then that fool Peanut goes, what's wrong with ReZero? Why don't you like ReZero? And I point and I go, all these points. And I can't tell what the points are, but he's like, there are certain points where things don't go anywhere. He's just like, yeah, you just got to wait to the future. It's coming up in season 2, maybe. And I'm like, dude, that came out 4 years ago. We're expected to wait 4 years for answers.
I
And
had
he's
to
like,
go to the
yeah,
light
we
novels.
just got to wait.
I went to the light novels. I read the light novels.
I
She's not wrong. The answers come, but yeah, that 4-year wait, nah.
We'll talk about it. But yeah, that's coming up. The Revisited. I haven't really watched the Persona ones outside of the first 2.
Really?
Because they're kind of...
I have a question.
I know
once they got to the confidants, I understand.
Yeah, and I know there's certain moments where I'm just like sitting there with my head down, like, just say anything.
Dude, there's
Just talk.
the next episode, I literally speed up. I speed up what he says because we don't talk for about 40 seconds to maybe 2 minutes. It might have been like 2.5 minutes. It's with Haru and it's with Yosuke.
Yusuke.
Yeah, Yusuke.
Yeah,
So it's
but
just
there are moments where I'm just like, I'll just be like, just come on. What are you?
But
And that'll be my whole commentary, and I got nothing left.
This is the thing. There are really fun and good moments in them, but it's not worth trudging through just for those moments. Now the moments are good. I love them, but I don't want to hear him just go, this could have been done so much mementos.
Yeah, he really has a stick up his butt for mementos.
Absolutely. And DA and I have said many times, don't yada yada these things because a lot of times they're real disingenuous because these YouTubers will go, here's something that supports it, here's something that supports it, and so you see why everything supports what I just said. And it's like, no, but what about all of these things? But he could have super yada yada this thing.
Yes.
These are the ones that follow this pattern. I'm going to show you the pattern, and then I'm going to tell you all the ones that follow it. Country Girl, Bad Dude, Mementos, we out. But he just wants to do a synopsis for 4 minutes and then go, and here's 30 seconds of my problem.
And in the beginning, he goes, this video is for people who are familiar with the Persona games or have played Persona 5. So we know what Chiaki is going through. So you don't need to sit there and just go, Country Girl. And
that, some of the stuff, too, that at least in the episodes that have come out that he's bringing up, namely, I want to say Ryuji, which you got pretty pissed about, DA.
Ryuji and and Futaba got me.
He keeps calling her Ann too. It's irritating.
Yeah.
Man.
So, with Ryuji, where it's just he seemingly gets over this stuff, which granted, this is about the original game, not Royal, but with Royal, and this is I'll only go iota of spoilery, in the extra month, they aren't over their own shit.
Yes. And I tried to keep it out. I tried to keep Royal out as much as I could.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things where it's still there.
Yeah. Yes, they are on the path to getting over their problems.
And he's like a switch that's flipped where it's just you cured now. And it's just the same thing where he's hey, go to the police. It don't work like that, fam.
Dude, Kawakami. What is he talking about?
And that's the thing that you guys keep going over too, where it's try going up to a stranger and talking to them and see how much they open up. I forget who I was talking about. I was I think because one of my roommates just met someone, not that he knew online, but that he had basically only known through like text conversations and stuff, that he met for the very first time in person a couple weeks ago. And I was just saying, like, it's just basically regaling my experiences and how like technically actually the first time I met the Comp Bros was, in person, because we didn't really talk too much online. And they were way nicer when I first met them than we are to each other now.
Oh yeah, I tell everybody this. Anytime somebody's like, "Wow, why you always railing on me?" I'm like, I only rail on the people I give a about, because I don't know how a non-knowing a mother
gonna take it.
Yeah, you don't know how they're gonna take it, if they're gonna be offended, if they're gonna be hurt by it, if they're gonna lash out at you.
I know what level I can pick at you before you pull back.
So yeah, like that would.
So yeah, when we first meet you, I'm gonna be uber nice to you.
Exactly.
By that third time, oh yeah, no, suck all the peanut.
So yeah, opening up takes a bit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand that.
Apparently,
it's fine. Some people are just like that.
Yeah, 25 people.
But yeah.
Oh, and he gonna go through all of. Oh my god.
Good times. Good times.
I'm looking forward to more of these episodes and your guys' suffering.
Yeah, there are a couple of comments just like, "How are you guys doing this?"
Yeah.
I was like, "With great difficulty, friend."
It was legit like, are y'all taking breaks? Cause Mom's worried about us.
Because legit, who's watching all 5 hours? If you're somebody like me or Mike who just like, or you who just like, we love Persona or we really like Persona, who's watching all 5 hours? You just go comment, and then the comment gets thrown off into the ether. At least here you got the whole video plus somebody else who's just giving their opinions, and then you can throw your opinions, and we try to comment as much as we can in the comments to the people. Yeah. This is it's a journey.
Yeah.
Two more sessions, I think. And we should be done.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
Have you gotten to the story bits yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The next episode is the last confidant one, and then the one after that is the first story one.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you haven't gotten to the story bits yet, I was gonna say 4. 4 more sessions.
Hey yo. Story bits are rough.
So in other like fiction stuff that we like, so every probably like year to 2 years, I just go through Avatar again.
The Last Airbender.
And Korra. All of it.
I hit season 3 a lot for Korra.
So my roommate actually had started when it popped back up on Netflix. My roommate started watching it, and so I just watched a good chunk of it with him. Watched the end of book 3 on my own. Ended up like I have the Blu-rays as well, so I'm like, all right, now I feel like watching Korra. So I rewatched all of Korra, book 2 included, all of Korra.
Oh boy, that's
so
you're
like
a hero.
book 2, like, because I was,
The
I
way
had known
your voice went, you already know you're about to speak some bull.
book 2. I remember not liking book 2, and I will say the first half of book 2 is alright. Like I'm okay with the first part of book 2. But
yeah, they're still trying to get their footing because it's just like you got one season, then they got to pick it back up. So it's sort of like a build up to what's coming up. I dig it.
Yeah, but literally, it Mass Effect 3's itself, where it has a lot of good lead up, and I know why they got rid of all the past avatars, because they did not want the crutch of Aang. But it still wasn't a good decision.
Yeah, you don't need Because anytime it's just gonna be like, well, what's Aang think about this? Can we get a little pass on Aang between the end of Avatar and up until his death? Can we get a little bit of a flashback? It's gonna be perpetually hanging over your head because Aang is a lot more likable than Korra, and people got that a lot more affection with Aang. So I almost called him Aang. My goodness.
Oh, ooh.
So yeah, they're gonna be like, "Yo, what about Aang?" So yeah, I can totally see why they did it. I'm a lot more hurt actually by Avatar Kyoshi because she is ballerific, like it's all terrific.
I mean, she's Murder Hobo the Avatar.
She's the best because they were just like, hey, Aang just like, I'll call on the past avatars, and they're just like, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. And Avatar Kyoshi was like, kill that bitch, kill him.
Have you
Let
read
me
her
take
book?
over and I'll kill him.
Have you read her book?
No, I haven't.
Read it. You want to see Murder Hobo the Avatar?
Oh my goodness, get in there.
Her book is amazing. Part 2 comes out next week.
Okay. I had previously run out of Avatar media.
Dude, okay. Kyoshi's story is the best, hands down, story yet from Avatar. It takes what they learned from the first Airbender, what they learned they could and could not get away with in Korra, and they blend it into a more mature, more well thought out, well written, well planned, well orchestrated story. Every character has like the depth and feel and just weight on the world as they did in the last Airbender, but much like how with Korra they could tackle more like older aged issues because Korra was, you know, an older Avatar. This Kyoshi book, just there is straight up death, murder, genocide. It's Kyoshi's world that made her the murder Avatar, and it is it's so good.
Okay.
Yes, there's a book. I
Is
highly suggest it.
this a
Rise of
book
Kyoshi
or a
Buy it.
comic?
Book. It's a book. The Rise of Kyoshi.
Okay. I'm in there because
Yeah.
I love her.
She is amazing. And book 2, oh my god, book 2. I can't wait,
Okay,
dude.
like-
The story of how she becomes the Avatar is so fucked up. I love it.
Definitely getting that. But yeah,
highly suggested. Go read
yeah,
it immediately. Avatar: The
3 of-
Rise of Kyoshi.
book 3 of Korra. Still love it to this day.
It's probably my favorite book in all of Avatar.
It's up there. I think
It's
both
so
book
good.
book threes are 1 and 2, depending on your ordering. Like, I think it could go either way. Just how sad it ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
How
You
happy
don't
and
need
sad.
your Korra, so you could just rest.
Single tear.
Instead of what you need.
I can't.
And I would still I would put book 4 as second best of Korra. I still really enjoyed book 4. I mean, Toph is kind of a big reason for that.
My girl.
All the Beifong stuff. And I actually still like Kuvira as a villain.
Yeah,
but
I always equated it because it's very weird that has anybody else here besides BG seen Kill la Kill?
I have.
Okay, yeah. So Kuvira and Korra has like this Ryoko and Satsuki thing going on.
Okay. Yeah.
It's basically that almost exactly, but it's opposite because I love Satsuki and I like Ryuko, but over there I love Korra and I like Kuvira.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's kind of weird for me. But yeah, I've always just like this is a lesser Satsuki, so I'm in there.
Mm-hmm. What else was in that book that I really liked that I'm forgetting? Shit. Oh no. So in who appears in book 2 and is arguably, I think he is the best side character in all of Avatar, Varric. Just his whole thing throughout each book and just his proposal to Zhu Li, where the fucking line that they've done throughout the whole thing. Zhu Li, would you do the thing with me? Is so good.
Does Chief Bayfong count as a side character?
I would put Varric above her, but I understand.
Oh, Michael.
I understand. I understand.
And then you got Tenzin. I count him as a main.
Yeah, Tenzin's main.
Tenzin's definitely main.
I'm up there with Chief Bayfong. You know. I dig it, Mike. I dig it.
Okay, hold on. So, question. I just finished rewatching all of Avatar Acts recently. I didn't want to cut Mike off earlier. But a question I've come across with a few friends of mine now is Lynn and her sister's father figures. We know they're both from different dads. The real question is, which one is Sokka's? Which one is Sokka's?
Well, Sue has a darker complexion.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess.
I'm sad that it didn't happen. It's just I don't like what's her name.
Suki.
I don't like Suki.
But yeah, the other thing that I did was I read, and I have now purchased all the hardcover versions of all of the comics, Last Airbender and Korra.
Boys.
And the Avatar ones are, in general, better than the two Korras that have come out. I will say the first Korra comic is where you actually see the consummation of Asami and Korra's relationship. Yeah. And that continues on through the second book. The second book deals with Kuvira. But it just doesn't go as in-depth as the Last Airbender ones.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the comics in general are all very good. And until you reminded me of this book, Ralph, I was basically, this whole point was, like, whenever I get into, like, a certain fiction, like, especially, like, a fiction that has a very rich world, like, I just, like, dive headfirst into all the content that I can, and then when I run out of content, I'm a sad, sad boy.
I'm going to say this. Reading the Kyoshi book gave me a much stronger appreciation for the Avatar world, because it put a lot more of the things we didn't get any or enough of in the series. It makes the world feel more realistic to me. Like, the political things, everything that we get hints at that kind of influence the story of The Last Airbender and Korra are kind of like in like full effect in Kyoshi. So I can't like hype it up enough, because my friend read it, she was very low key, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. And then when I finished reading it, she just screamed at me about like how good it was, and I was just screaming right back. I'm just like, I can't be low key. I loved the story. So if you have not read it, please do, because after reading that book, I had to go back and watch The Last Airbender again, because so much of the world of Aang is kind of the after effects of the Kyoshi story. Like, Roku's fuck ups as a really kind of shitty avatar kind of lay on the feet of Kyoshi. And it's just like, oh, that's a good way to make this story matter for the greater universe.
He probably was like so opposed to killing Sozin just because the entire time Kyoshi's just like, murder.
That is exactly
murder.
Okay, because what did she say in The Last Airbender? That each avatar like pretty much picks up the failures of the last, like, and adapts them into themselves. So if they say Kyoshi's biggest failure is that she was too murderous, and then Roku's was just not murderous enough, and then we get Aang, who's just like, since I can't go on a murder spree, I can't, be pacifist, I'm gonna just get rid of bending. Fuck it. Like, there's so much fun things that are in this story. I'm just like, the Avatar world is so rich. As long as the writers don't go full J.K. Rowling, hopefully we can enjoy this in the future.
Oh yeah. Now I have more. I is happy.
Go for it.
I just pre-ordered the second book on Amazon. First book is unavailable. Have to go somewhere else.
Check Barnes and Noble. They usually have it.
I did
that
a book.
exists?
Yeah.
Books A Million had the Avatar comics that I got, so I'll probably order through them again.
Okay. Yeah, definitely find the first book.
So any besides Persona and Avatar, any other fictional worlds that we're all diving into? Anybody?
Oh yeah, ReZero.
Good way into Haikyuu.
Yeah, like
Went
most
back
of
to Claymore, which is, man, I forgot how good that was.
I forget that, like, not that it's bad, but I just forget that series exists until I'm reminded of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was really good.
No, 100%. Ain't nobody.
Everybody's thinking about it.
It is a leaf blowing across the street. It's like, oh,
Nice looking leaf.
and that's all it is. You move on with your day. It's $1 just blowing it away. Is that a 50? No, it's $1. It's still good.
Ooh, vintage dollar. Yeah, most of the stuff that like, what am I reading? There's a couple of like webtoons that I'm still reading. Consistently reading Comey. Everyone.
Red.
Dude, no. We're talking about Comey. Can we please talk about Comey for just a hot second? It's so good.
Can we please, sir? May we?
It's so good. It's probably one of the most consistently good manga that I've ever read. It's just
Agreed.
banger after banger.
Like if anyone ever needs something that is just heartwarming and feel good,
And funny.
read it. Just read it.
It's so good.
And like obviously there's like the main plot of the main characters when you're just like freaking confess already because it's a romance manga.
Do it.
It's like it is like 75% slice of life, 25% romance.
I don't know what it is. I cannot do slice of life.
And it's very the opposite of me, where I'm just like, slice of life is one of the first things that I look for.
You know why? Because your first thing is characters, and my
Yeah.
first thing is
and
plot.
and my whole
story.
thing is you could put good characters doing anything, and it's good. You can put good characters together. You can put good characters with bad characters, and it still be good. It's just characters bouncing off of each other. So when they're just sitting in a classroom for 15 chapters just talking, that's fantastic. When they're just eating in a ramen shop, that's fantastic. When a little girl tries to go get a sub, that's fantastic because you know this character, you know it's character stuff. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The literal latest chapter, I think it's the latest chapter of Comey is so like Comey at this point has made, like, even with her communication disorder, a bunch of friends, and they all have her phone number, and everyone else in the class that doesn't is jealous, but they all as well are just weird. So they all try to get her number, and all of them fail by various reasons and circumstances. And then when they all finally fail, Comey actually musters up the courage herself to go and ask them for all of their contact info. And it's very wholesome and heartwarming.
She's amazing. I love the show. Why hasn't it gotten an anime legitimately? It's so easy to do.
I feel like any anime studio is just like, there still isn't an end in sight. like with Shonen, you at least got the punch fighty to distract people. With this, you have to get through the character stuff.
Yeah, but we're going up the stairs slowly but surely. It's like a 9-flight stairs, and we're like on flight number 2, but we're at least on 2, and we're going up. We're getting our stamina up for the last little sprint. Because when it hits, it's gonna hit hard.
Mm-hmm. But yes, Comey is awesome.
What were you gonna talk about, PG, 15 minutes ago?
I was just gonna ask if he had read Scuba Shag.
Oh.
Had read what?
Have you read Scuba and Shag?
Is this the Scooby-Doo thing where Velma's gay now?
No. That's just that's probably Mystery Inc. No. Scuba and Shag is a web comic. It first started out as just like a meme-y, like we're gonna do whatever, and then it starts getting into a plot, and then it just turns into Hanna-Barbera characters meets JoJo's.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
You might be reading Comey next. I don't know.
Oh my god, bro!
I
I don't slice of life.
Yeah, I know. But this transcends.
Slice of life.
Give me water mote. I'll do some water
You
mote.
might do one of Mote, but that hits harder if you're a little bit shy and have a lot of problem talking to people because and if you like her because the camera's in her face the whole time and she's garbage. She's
She's garbage.
but you like her. It's a whole thing. I'm trying to workshop in my mind what's next for you because there's a whole lot. It might be Claymore because I was rereading Claymore like as a test. Like was it really? Like no, this is actually.
You're getting filth.
If we're going in the mud, we can go in the mud.
You just filthed me.
I know.
So I got to get some revenge filth.
I know.
Revenge filth. Okay. So I just have a few little tidbits of news left. Ghost of Tsushima is getting good reviews. It's out this coming week, I think. Either that or next week.
I think so, yeah.
I'll probably pick it up. Next gen games may cost $70, which I think is like, I'm not sure why it hasn't happened already. To be honest,
I think that's pushing it a little bit. I think $50 was the right point.
No, because Sega and Nintendo games used to cost about $75.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They actually down in price, and then now they're just.
I think $50 would be.
I think
I think that's just me. I'm insanely cheap, so I think that's like the baseline of because every time I buy a game, which is very very rare, I'm like $60, and there's a big difference between $60 and $50. There's a big difference between 11 o'clock and noon.
I understand that, but at the same time, the costs have gone up so much.
Exactly.
And I don't mind. I honestly would not mind paying $70 for a game because I'm digital and I've never, even when I was physical, I never traded my games in. I didn't care enough. So I am perfectly fine buying a $70 game if it's a game I think will be of quality. I have no problem paying $70 for Persona 6 or
I was about to say something like Last of Us 2. I could see that being $70, but something like Pirate Warriors 4, I was like that's not really warranting of $70.
I can't even say that because it's how much time and enjoyment you get out of it.
Yeah,
if you're dedicating a good 25 hours and you enjoy 25 hours worth, that's $70.
No, I'm talking about from the studios.
Yeah.
It's like this is a $million game as opposed to just this Muso game that's just like cut and paste.
It's really that there needs to be more AA pricing. So something like a Muso game might be more like a $40, $50 game.
That's what I would like.
But the problem is, you're either a AAA game or you're an indie. There's so little in between for AA. You get something like the Console, which is a AA game. You get something like Senua's Sacrifice, something like that. Hellblade. You get something like that. That's a AA title. You're gonna get that for like $30, $40. Those titles are so few and far between, though, that space is just not occupied. So it's just like we can charge. The whole thing with me is, if you're gonna make it 70, you gotta start taking out some of these microtransactions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like this is just pure greed.
And Nintendo's got to loosen up that coin purse. Them games never go on sale.
Never.
They do not.
See,
my little brother, they were just like, "Hey, do you guys have My Hero 1 Justice?" I was like, "No, but it was on sale like a week ago for $30. You can grab that there." It wasn't on sale no more. Full price. Get up in there.
The reason is that Nintendo. A lot of places are just like, I'm not gonna buy the game day one because by the time it hits day 96, it's gonna be $20 off, and I'll buy it then. Once it hits a price I'm comfortable with, Nintendo's like, we don't give a if you buy our games day one or day 3,472. You fork over them $60, monkeys.
It's the only place you get Mario, homie. You like Mario? I like Mario.
Breath of the Wild
Mario
came out almost 4 years ago. $60.
Yep.
Nintendo do not.
Man.
So yeah,
I want to go on a Nick Cannon rant about Nintendo.
Oh my god. Dude. Dude.
Wow.
Can I just say this as a black person? Black people suck.
Black people are really
Bruh.
bad.
The
'Cause you look at-
tweets up there defending that man.
And people are like, "Oh, so we're just gonna boycott BT and Nick and all these places that Viacom own because they got rid of Nick Cannon." Yeah, but he's like, "Hey, if you're not black, you're a lesser of a person.
And
Like
the
you can't. How are
Jews.
you doing this?"
He brought up the Jews. Like,
And he said it was such like, "Hey, them."
Capital T them.
And I put a tweet out where it's like people applauded and were calling for the firing of Don Imus because he said nappy-headed hoes to a
Yeah.
bunch of college players, and they applauded that. And to his death, they went, "Yay, that racist is out of here."
yeah.
But you're like, "Hey, we're gonna boycott stuff because they're getting rid of Nick Cannon for being racist." Terrible. Black people suck.
Cannon had a little bit head about him where he's just like, hey, I'm black. I can say whatever I want. Black people can't be racist because, I say that on the podcast like, well, if they're good, so I'm black. I can say this. And I think he was just like, well, I'm black. I'm rich. I can say whatever I
There
want.
are people that legitimately think black people cannot be racist
Yeah, no,
because
sure.
racism only comes from a place of being able to
Power
oppress people. No, you can be racist through anything. They just do not understand even what they're saying.
But we do get a little bit more leeway, though.
Oh, absolutely. We can flag off some Chinamen real quick.
Wow.
And everybody's like, oh, whatever, black people. Y'all earned this through getting whipped for 20,000
we'll
years.
get you next time. We'll cancel you next time.
You get one. You get one.
Oh boy.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
on the before we got in this whole Nick Cannon rant, I had mentioned Breath of the Wild. Well,
Here we go.
segue from 2 minutes ago. The Spanish voice actors for Breath of the Wild 2 said they are done recording the game. So, might be pretty far along. However, I recall the voice actor of Goofy, like 3 years before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, saying he was done with the game. So,
Yeah.
take some, leave some.
Let's face it here. Nintendo doesn't really do much with the voices to matching lips, I feel like. So they might have just given the script to International and just said, hey, record while we develop the game more. We could be still like another 2 years out of release.
Yep. Potentially.
I mean, there's no E3. Didn't they cancel their Treehouse event this summer too already?
Well,
I think everything.
it got pushed to a later date. Like, I mean, one of the next things we're going to be talking about is like everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. Ubisoft this past week just did a small little presentation where they showed off Watch Dogs Legion and gave it a release date of October 29th. They showed this mobile game, which was like the Tom Clancy. It was like a strategy RPG with a bunch of Tom Clancy characters. Their new Battle Royale game, Hyperscape, which is basically, from what I'm seeing, Apex Legends, but you can go high. They stress verticality is like the thing that they kept stressing in their games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a November 17th release date, and then
I need that game so bad.
Announced Far Cry 6 for February 18th, 2021. Have you guys played a Far Cry game? Like, what was the last one you played?
Far Cry 3?
3,
I'm
yes.
currently playing Far Cry 5.
Oh, okay. I played 3. That was the last one I played.
3 was good. 4 was all right. 5 is really good.
I know people will praise 3 Blood Dragon, the like super sci-fi 70s retro one. I think it's called Blood Dragon.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Edgar Wright has rumored that he may revisit Scott Pilgrim as an anime project, and all I have to say to that is yes, fucking please.
Gonna be very stylish.
Give it to me. I love the graphic novels. Give me a one-to-one graphic novel adaptation in anime form, and you couldn't get the money out of my wallet fast enough for whatever it is on in whatever format. And that's actually all the news I had. Velma is gay is the only other bit that I had for the cartoon that's been out for the last few years.
Yeah, Mystery Incorporated, which I was currently in the middle of watching.
Oh.
Because people say it's like one of the best Scooby-Doo cartoons. So
Yes, Scott Pilgrim anime. Not hard confirmed, just Edgar Wright has said, hey, I may revisit this, which please do. That's all I gotta say. But yeah,
I think it Will Smith stuff hilarious.
Oh, pain.
Will Smith.
I mean, it is what it is.
Some 20-year-old dude laying pipe on your wife. That ain't funny.
Gee.
Like I
It's
didn't.
hilarious how black people suck. That's what's hilarious. The women that are applauding what she did, when if it was reversed, it'd be like, why is Will blah blah blah. Yeah, black people suck.
Yeah, just I had seen all the memes come out, and I
Yeah.
hadn't seen what it was about until like a day or two ago, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's not good.
Guess Ralph, did you want to tell your Ralph story, or should we just save that for another time?
I mean, I could. It's a quick enough story.
Yeah.
So, since it's been a while that our podcasts have
Been a
a
while.
wide breadth of time. Fuck you, Mike. Have a wide breadth of time. It's time again now for another story of how my life is a continuous roller coaster of garbage. So, as everyone in this call is for the most part aware, I don't have a driver's license yet. I'm from New York. It's not really a necessity. It's one of those things where you get it if it's a status thing, essentially. But we're moving now, a car is a matter of life or death. You kind of don't have a chance at getting a job that pays you anywhere decent if you can't travel.
Middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, to put it nicely. So, past year I've been saving up money, getting things back in order, and now, okay, ready to get myself back on the road. I have the funds to set aside to get a car. I can get things going. I only to find out that I have to get a permit, despite having a permit from New York here, because they don't recognize your driving experience if you don't have an actual license. You have to wait 6 months after getting a permit to take your road test again. So you gotta wait 6 months on top of this shit.
So you basically got your
Yeah.
student driver permit. Please tell me your roommate is your guardian.
No. I as an individual, you can do that. You don't have to have a guardian, Mike.
I want
But
on the back of her
great.
car to have that little sticker that says student driving.
Nope. I went there today. I made my appointment. I went over there today, and I took the test, and I aced it. It's great. It's awesome. It's done. Naturally, it's like I've been driving for the past fucking going on 14 years. So I go up there. We're going through paperwork. They're like, it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna print you out. Everything looks great. Hold on, that's weird. I'm like, here we go.
I've heard this before.
Here
we go again.
Here we go. Here comes that good old family bullshit. It's about to come back at me. What do they do now? So that's weird. I'm not getting a registration number for you here in my system. I'm gonna have to call Capital, because that's where their head BMV office is, to get it from. That's weird. I've worked this job for the past 16 years. I've never seen it before once in my life. I'm like, oh, that tracks. This is gonna be fun. So they call. They call the head office. They look my name up. Like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, could you send? Okay, great. I see it in the computer now. Perfect. Thank you so much. Hang up the phone with the head office. Question for you, Ralph. Does anyone else in your family have your same name? And I'm like, yes. I am the Ralph Iavino Jr., as it says on my ID, my card, my mail, and my state ID. I see that. So you're saying your dad has the same name? My dad and my grandfather. My grandfather has a different middle name, but it's still Ralph Iavino. Okay, so that may be what's going on here. It's saying that we cannot issue you your license despite you passing the test because it's saying that your license is suspended in the state of New York.
Ripperoni, pepperoni.
I sit back in the chair and I'm like, really? She says, do you have any idea what's going on? I'm like, it could be my old man. He had a million things leaning against him at the end there before he died. But that's probably what it is. So what you have to do is you have to go home, call this number, get with Albany, where the head of the DMV office is for New York, and find out what's going on. And then you can come back anytime because your test results and everything is saved for the next 6 months.
Hey, why don't you guys find out what's going on? You
Not
guys
their
have a
job.
lot more access to the system than I, sir.
It's apparently
Ma'am.
not their job.
Sir.
It was a ma'am. But I get home. I'm like, I have a theory. We're driving home. Like, I have a fucking theory. And my parents, even in death, my parents will find a way to be a hurdle I have to deal with. My theory is they registered a car in my name and let the insurance lapse. I bet I owe money to the DMV. Get home. I'm on the phone. Everything's backed up. I can't get through. They're like, we are experiencing incredibly high call volume thanks to COVID-19. We cannot put you through to an operator. If you'd like, we have extended our website options so you can check out X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to do that. I go on there. Go on the website. I log in. I go through all of the digging that a bureaucratic system would make you go through to find out information for yourself. And I see license suspended. I'm like, you are ineligible to drive. Reason. Click here. Click. You have multiple insurance lapses registered to your name. You owe $100.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not. But multiple is the word that's important there. I'm like, excuse me? So I pay the fine, pay it, and I'm like, okay, so what are the next steps? It doesn't tell me what the next steps are. It just says, when you make this payment, you acknowledge that this doesn't actually mean you are eligible to drive again. You are simply repaying your debt to the state of New York. And I'm like, oh, this is not how this is playing out. I'm not doing this. So I call them. I call the insurance bureau directly. I get through to them. You know what my wait time is? Hour 40 minutes.
Sounds about right.
So I'm waiting. Okay.
Did they have good holding music?
No, it was the same tune. The same, I'm going to say 8 chords. 8 acoustic guitar chords on a loop, Mike.
Isn't it the worst when it's that, and it's like, it gets to a point where you're starting to get used to the terribleness, and then that's about after maybe like 20 seconds, and we're sorry for the long car. He's like, fuck.
You don't have to apologize to me, Robo Lady.
If you need immediate information or to pay a fine,
please go to the
web
website.
terminal.
What? I tried, and I had to come here.
I'm like, okay. So I
had to do this with the water company
I fix
here a
the
lot.
grill in the backyard. I move it. I clean up a little bit. I do some stuff around the house. Okay. Oh, somebody answers. Oh, great. Hey. So my name is yada yada. My ID number is yada yada. My information is yada yada. And the first thing that threw me off, by the way, is after living in the Midwest now for the past year, talking to people from home, it kind of threw me for a loop for a second, just because New York attitude and New York phrasing is a different beast from the rest of the fucking country.
What?
The fuck you want?
Good morning, good afternoon, good something?
The woman I was talking to was clearly from Brooklyn, and was nice enough, honestly, a little more than I was expecting. She was like, "Hey, thanks for calling today. How can I help you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, my people. How do I do this?" Right. Yeah. Hey, man.
How do I, asshole?
I go through the whole thing, and it's just like, oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, let me look here. Okay, so what you're saying is you don't know why you owe the money. Like, yeah, exactly. Well, showing here that you have 2 different vehicles registered to your name with different insurances in your name that have lapsed. I'm just like, what? Is there a name attached to those besides my own? They're like, no, it's just yours. I'm like, okay, when was the first one made? Oh, that would be 2010. Okay. And the second one? 2013. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, the only vehicle in 2013 that was registered to either of my parents was my mom, because my dad was dead at this point. Things I didn't know. Things I never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Money I now owed because of them again. Even in death and separation, they haunt me. So I pay it, and I'm like, okay, so listen, so what's the deal now? What happens? And they're just like, oh, okay, so what happens now is within 24 hours, this will clear through the systems here at Albany, and you'll be free to drive in New York again. But it doesn't sound like you're actually here anymore, are you? And I'm like, no, I'm in Indiana. He's like, well, that's unfortunate. I'm like, well, yeah, you're not wrong.
You sound way too polite to be living here.
Boy. Oh, too good to be here down in the trash in the COVID with us.
I'm like, she's like, that's unfortunate. I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm like, well, okay, well, what happens now is it can take up to 24 hours as well to go through Washington for your national registration to be cleared, or it can take up to 5 to 7 days. I'm like, okay, is there a way for me to know when it's cleared? No. Is there a way I can check? You have to call. How, do you think that's possible? Their lines are actually deactivated because of COVID right now. So I have literally no way for me to find out if I got to go back to the fucking BMV to get my shit registered and actually pick up my license. If I have to go down there again, wait in this fucking line, find out if it's ready, and if it's not, I wasted 2 hours waiting in this fucking line for nothing. She's like, yeah, unfortunately, pretty fucking much. She's like, okay, cool. Thanks for the help. Like, okay, no problem. Have a good day. Sorry about that. Good luck, bud. And just hang up. And I'm just like, mm-hmm.
Now, as somebody on the other end of that line, it's just like it's us in front of a screen and we pulling up numbers and names.
Oh, I know.
Ain't got to do with us.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just like, I did everything right. I passed this test. I did the thing. I put money aside. I'm working my ass off. And I'm just haunted by the ghosts of my parents' idiocy. Years after they're no longer a part of my life, I am still finding out ways they fucked me in minute ways I never knew. The kicker is that my license was suspended in 2014. I had my permit. I had my New York driving permit on me and was never notified of suspension once.
Yeah.
I only got a state ID in 2019 just because when I went to go renew for my permit, I just said, I don't have a car. Fuck this. I haven't had a car in years. Fuck this right now. Just get the state ID so I can go internet, so I can go like different countries if I want to. Because you can't get like the Visa ID if it's a permit. It can only be a state ID or a license.
Well, you have to have a passport in order to get
you can get that. You can't have it attached to a permit, is what I'm saying. It has to be a state ID or a license in order for it to be both in one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Permit versus
so like, fuck it. I'm just getting
Lickens.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm just gonna get the fucking state ID. So there was no indicator. I didn't know. And I'm just sitting here now thinking in this BMV office that everything's good and cleared, and just get told, yeah, we're being told you're suspended. And I'm like, what? What?
It's the worst when it's just like, everything's cool. I know everything's cool. I did what I was supposed to do. And then it's just like, well, no, there's something that I literally could not help and did nothing to cause it that's screwing me over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I have a very similar, just sort of small anecdote. Like a year or so ago, when I was still in that little program, they brought in an accountant because it was also like a help get your life back together sort of thing, as well as a learn how to do a trade. And it was just like, and they said everybody in the room just like, okay, let's do a really big deep dive into your credit history and everything. We're gonna pull up all your information. We're gonna see how you're doing, and we're gonna see what we can do to improve that. And he did for mine. He was like, ooh.
you're about $235,000 in debt. And I went, sir, sir, you can't just f me up my butt. You gotta take me to dinner first.
Wine and dine.
And I was like, and I had to think about it and then I was like, can I see the thing? He was like, yeah, sure. Here's all your debts. Here's all your addresses that you've lived at. Here's all the cars that you own. I'm like, okay, chill out. There's one that says Tennessee. There's 6 addresses in Georgia. This is a combination between me, my uncle, and my grandfather. And I had to get all that sorted out before it was like, it was to prove who you are, who you say are, and I had to go through all that. So I dig it, pro.
Dude.
Because that was a gut shot.
I just sitting there like, you can't be kidding. On the drive home, my friend looks and she goes, this is the type of shit that I would literally only hear from you. I can't imagine anyone else in my life who has this type of luck.
Well, we need to introduce her to King Edward Brown III, so we need to introduce her to...
She's listened to our podcast. She doesn't want to know any of you.
Well, I wouldn't either.
I think that's
yeah.
Hey, really nice when you first meet us.
Yeah, okay.
Not even for the Zelda?
No, they've heard what you're actually like via podcast. They have no interest.
Oh.
Plus, she would fight you on your fandom.
And I would fight back with my replica Master Sword that is hanging in my room right now.
ponies and rarity and
No, actually, no. She might get along with DA. They're both. Her and her husband are both pony.
yeah.
They're furries.
Well, now I don't want to know her. How about that? Turn it around on her. How about that?
She don't care.
Yeah.
You got garbage opinions.
I have fantastic opinions.
You don't. like Amber just said.
Steady on, mate.
I didn't hear what said.
Wow, Amber.
What?
Amber in chat just says you don't want to know her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa.
All right, yeah, you got some facts?
Nah,
There are like 5 collars I'm tugging right now.
You got some
facts about Arkansas.
What?
Arkansas, Alabama. Sorry.
Okay.
Alabama is the state.
Still what? Why Bama?
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, it's because of the COVID parties. Like the last time we mentioned Arkansas, where was the Who Gives a Fuck Arkansas transitioning to Alaska talk. That was like 3 years ago.
I looked down in my notes and I saw an A and I'm like, yeah, I got the rest. I know what I'm doing here.
All right, Ralph, you have not picked in a very long while.
What's the numbers? 1 through what?
15.
Let's go with lucky number 13.
I feel like that's the obvious one. That's a water balloon inside of a cake.
Also, all this cake crap, cut it out.
Yes, please.
It was funny for like a day, and then it was just like,
it's all
you giving it too much credit.
That was funny. I like that. I like the astronaut ones.
I literally saw someone fucking slicing up aloe vera just to show like the gooiness that goes into aloe vera lotion, and I didn't trust it at first because I'm like, this is a fucking cake, isn't it?
Okay, that's actually a good one. It is illegal in Alabama to sell, purchase, possess, or train a bear for bear wrestling. Bear wrestling matches used to be a pretty big deal in Alabama. They were so popular that the state added a new law about bear exploitation that explicitly forbids people from engaging in bear wrestling matches. This is a Class B felony, which is the same as being charged with manslaughter. Mike.
Okay, so are the people wrestling the bears, or are they training bears to wrestle each other?
I think it's that. It's like dog fighting, probably.
What the
and this is Alabama, who there is definitely some incest-related laws Questionable
Yeah.
incest-related laws in that state.
Questionable. Ain't no question about it, Mike.
Oh boy! Wow.
Bear wrestling is usually declawed and muzzled. Often wrestle between a man and a bear.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I'm mistaken.
There's a picture of bear wrestling.
Well, that's a big
with
thing too.
man
The
and a bear.
declawing.
Wow. Okay, so
Well, with that,
I can see why. Well, but it was a big deal. What type of entertainment do they got down in Bama? Nothing. Hey, let's go see this man wrestle a bear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check that out.
Nah.
eh,
I would check it out once. It's
yeah.
literally for the like spectacle.
yeah, you get the experience, and then you're like, wow.
That
You
sure
just
is
walk
a man
out the
wrestling
door.
a bear. Oh, all right.
Bought and paid for, huh? As advertised.
Boy, they did not lie on this brochure.
Oh, the man died. Expected.
Okay.
All right.
Well, when you get in there with a bear, sometimes. Okay. I
With
guess we're
that-
going.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode of the podcast of stuff. Go watch Revisited. Go watch the Persona one. It's
Go
very
watch
good.
I need to start watching that one.
I
One
thought you
of
were about
the-
to say go watch ReZero. I'm like, Michael.
No, dude, I gave up on that show before I even got to the point that you guys were talking about.
Big
I got
ups.
bored. I got bored.
Go watch Revisited.
So now, one quick question before we go. Would there ever be a video that you could see any of us guesting on? Or is this purely you guys, which is totally understandable?
I was
Sure.
thinking about the Persona one you coming on, but
It's
it
way too
was
late.
it was way too long. That was
Mhm.
the problem. And
Yeah.
getting 3 people together, that'd be the problem. It'd have to be one of those shorter 20-minute boys.
Yeah.
I was totally thinking about
Yeah,
that.
I
Okay.
have no problem with
All
anybody
right.
joining
Because,
Revisited.
yeah, at this point, like, I've watched so many where I'm just like, fuck it. I feel like I'd have fun doing this.
How could you not have
How
fun
could you
during
not?
Revisited? It's so
You're just
much
Trashing
fun.
these people, trash opinions.
And make no mistake, the opinion's trash.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of the podcast of stuff. We will see you in roughly 2 weeks.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. Later.